Let me ask you, have you ever had regrets? Have you ever made a decision in life in a certain situation that you end up looking back on and thinking, maybe that wasn't the best way to go about it? Life is all about making difficult decisions. As you progress in life, if you haven't already, you're probably going to find out very quickly that there's a lot of things that are going to pop up situation wise in your life that you're going to have to make a difficult, hard cutoff decision with. And the hardest part is knowing which decision is right or wrong. Because it is hard to know what is the right or wrong decision truly, I think that's where regret starts to appear in your life. But once you start regretting decisions that you made in the past, that is where life starts to get harder. So, in today's Free Think Dojo video, I wanted to talk about how to stop regretting decisions that you've made in the past and learning how to live with them. For me, growing up especially, I was always an overthinker. I live with anxiety every day, and back then my anxiety was through the roof. So I was always second guessing and so critical about things I've said in conversation or decisions that I made in certain situations, and it got so tiring as I got older. However, even in my late 20s, I still have just as many, if not more, situations that I feel regret for. But what I started to realize is that a lot of those regrets were the root cause of my day to day stress. So even though I can't physically or mentally stop feeling the emotion of regret, I've started to try and find ways to cope and understand why I feel that way. A perfect example of this is I recently had a falling out with a family member due to some things that were said about a significant other. Now, obviously, anything with family, depending on your relationship, is very difficult to deal with because there are so many factors at play to not only keep the relationship stable, but also these are the people that are the closest to you in some cases. So it is even harder to make difficult decisions. But due to the circumstances and the things that were said, it really destroyed the relationship that I thought I had with that individual. So I ended up making some hardball decisions to kind of change our relationship that would ultimately end up kind of bringing some respect back to me and my significant other, while also not trying to completely sever my ties with that individual. Did it suck? Oh, yeah, it was terrible. I had days even now where I just constantly think back to the scenario and question if I could have done something different or could have avoided it altogether. And I just start overthinking it. But ultimately, it doesn't go anywhere. It leads to no solution. The decision had already been made. And quite honestly, the relationship is not perfect now, but it is stable. As well, my partner and I did take a firm stand, and that actually helped our relationship keep stable as well. But did I make the right decision? Was my decision the best decision? Was the way that I treated the situation the best way? Well, here's the answer: it doesn't matter now. I can't go back and change what I did. Whether it was right or wrong, my mind is still going to want to second guess it. But where my thinking has started to change, especially towards the end of my 20s, is the more I sit on it, the more that I sulk and think about it, the worse off I'm going to be now. Whether what I did was actually wrong and the way that I handled it was not the right way to handle it. It's not important to try and backtrack and rewind because I can't. But what I can do is move forward with it. Don't move on and ignore it, but move on with it by your side. Now, the way I do that is that I accept that that was the way that I handled it. Whether it was right or wrong, I accepted the way that I handled the situation. But then I start focusing on how can I move forward from this while keeping that decision in mind. If you did end up hurting somebody in a mistake or decision that you made in the past, it is important to remember that if you can't go back to help that person and change your decision, you can at least move forward trying to mend, trying to gain forgiveness, or just trying to deal with that decision the best way you can. So, no matter if it's because of a personal relationship or because of a job decision, I feel like regrets are only going to hold you back and keep you hindered and distracted from what your next goal is. Now, what I want everybody to keep in mind with this conversation is I in no way am condoning making mistakes and then just ignoring it like a sociopath. Empathy is important, and I feel it greatly. And at the end of the day, I feel like empathy is the reason why we feel regret. So, in no way do I want you to watch this video and feel guilty for having regret. Regret is a normal response to any situation. It just means you're human and you're actually feeling something. I know a lot of people out there that make decisions that hurt people and then just go on about their day, not second guessing it, not thinking about it at all. And at the end of the day, I find that just downright creepy. We don't want to turn into emotionless robots and just make decisions on the fly no matter the repercussions. But use that empathy to move forward and just focus on helping, regaining a relationship or reestablishing or just mending an overall situation that maybe just didn't turn out right. But I promise you, no matter what scenario it is, whether it's about jobs, personal relationships, money issues, focus on this mentality to help mend moving forward. If anybody watching this video is experiencing a struggle with deep regret, more than happy to sit down and talk with you and try to help guide you through what you're feeling. I'm obviously no expert on regret and just mental stipulations, but what I can say is that we are all walking the same paths in life. We're all trying to navigate it the best we can. And the best thing we can do with situations like this is to depend on each other, depend on this advice to not fix the issue, but just point you in the right direction. So I hope everybody in 2025, especially with everything going on, just focus on not living with regret of the past. If you made a wrong decision, or even if you made the right decision, don't sit in the decision. Focus on moving forward with the next step from that decision and seeing where that takes you. The morality behind right and wrong is dependent on a person's perspective, but I think what we can all agree on is that if we could all move forward to find a solution or find a way to move forward, it will make us all a lot less stressed. I appreciate everybody sticking around for this somewhat venting session about, I guess, overall morality and feeling of regret. But I do hope that this conversation has helped point somebody in the right direction if they are feeling regret. Once again, feel free to comment down below what you might be regretting and what you're trying to do to deal with it. Also, subscribe to the channel, like the video, feel free to share it with your friends as well. Would always love to see some more faces up here in the Free Think Dojo, as it is a place for everyone, and I will talk to you later.